Hello children, I hope you are all safe and good. Welcome to Samveda E-class organized by DSERT Banashankari, Bangalore. Today we will have a class 6 general science subject. Today we will be discussing about chapter 7 and this chapter will be discussed in two sessions, first session as well as second session. So, the chapter name is Getting to Know Plants. Children, you know already about the plants. So, still we will learn about more about plants and chapter 7. So, the first two chapters you know about the food we are getting from the plants. We should know about the plants. So, what are the objectives we will be learning in this chapter? The objectives of this lesson are the classification of plants, children. So, you will be learning about the different classification of plants, the morphological structure of plants. So, what is the structure, the basic structure of the plants, and in that you will be studying about complete detail about root system, a shoot system, flower and its parts. This is the major parts of a plant you will be discussing as well as you will be knowing in this chapter. So, today's session, as I told, we will be learning this chapter in two sessions. So, today's session you will be learning about the morphological structure of a plant in detail and the classification of plant based on the sizes you will be studying, the herbs, shrubs as well as trees, the shoot system, stem and its function. So, today's sessions we will be learning different concepts, particularly the basic structure of a plant and the classification of plants based on their size and the shoot system in detail. Observe this picture, children. Yes, what you are observing, children? Yes, you will be observing a river, trees, tent, hills, stones, small plants. By this you can understand that we see trees, plants everywhere, isn't it right? So, from this picture you can analyze that how the plants are grow everywhere, where we find the plants in everywhere. So, let us have a walk in the nature. Very keenly observing a different plants. So, you go outside and observe all the plants around you, children. So, do you see that some plants are very small, some are very big, while some are just a patches on the green on the soil and some have a leaves while some other have a reddish one. So, if you go around a walk in the nature, you will see a different types of plants. Some they are very small, some they are medium size of plants you can see, and some they are very big trees you can see, children. So, let us look into a further. As I told, so we see a lot of many different types of plants. Some plants will grow on land, they are called as terrestrial plants. Some plants are grow in the water, so they are called as aquatic plants. So, you have seen that some plants are grown in the lands, they are called as terrestrial plants. Some plants which are grown in the water like lotus, all these plants you have seen in the water which grows in the water. So, they are called as aquatic plants. So, some, as we know, you have differentiates, right? If you go for a walk on a roadside, on your in the park, in the school sites. So, all this you see as different plants which are very small, some they have a flowers, some they have a fruits. So, let us look into a basic structure of a plants. On the basis of the structure and size, plants are divided into three categories, children. Let us have a look on this three categories: herbs, shrubs and trees. So, on the basis of their size and the structure, the plants have been classified into three main plants, three categories, children. So, that is herbs, shrubs and trees. So, you can see the first picture says it is a herb, the second it is a shrub and third one is tree. So, now we will have a discuss each and every types of plants. The first is herbs. This herbs you have seen. So, plants with the green and tender stems are called as herbs. So, if you have seen this in the pot in the garden, you can see in your house, children, the plants with a green and tender stem, very soft stems are called as herbs, and these are very short. So, when you compare with other type of plants, so this herbs are very short plants and the stems are very thin and green color and they do not have branches. So, you have seen this, some herbs have been grown in the pots. So, very thin stems and also very green in color and they do not have any branches, and their lifespan varies from between a few months to a year, children. So, there are example for the herbs you can say, so coriander, the sunflower, mustard, wheat and paddy. So, these are the some of the examples for the herbs where their stem is tender as well as very soft and they do not have a branches. They are called as a herbs. Shrubs. So, what are shrubs, children? You have studied, you have already know about shrubs. Some plants develop branches near the base of a stem. So, they are called as shrubs. The stem is very hard. Compare with the herbs, the stem of the shrubs are hard but not very thick such as plants. They are called as shrubs. So, the stem is not, when you compare with the herbs, the stem of the shrubs are little thick and also you can say that it is little brown in color, when you compare with the herbs, and they are called as shrubs. These are the medium sized plants. So, when you compare with this, so they are very small plants, but shrubs are medium sized plants and their stems are brown, hard and thicker than the herbs. Remember, children, so when you see the different types of plants, you should identify which is herbs, shrubs and trees. So, example for shrubs you can say, so rose, jasmine, China rose, cotton and hibiscus. All these plants you have seen every day, children. So, this we call as shrubs where their stems are very little bit thick and also they are in a brown in color and little short also. So, these are the example of shrubs. Let us look into a trees. It is another category of plants. So, trees are found everywhere in the world, isn't it right? So, you will be seeing different types of trees and also from trees we are having a lot of uses also, children. These are tall plants having an average height about between 40 to 60 meters. Their stems are brown, thick, very hard and the stems of trees are called as trunks, children, and many branches arise from the upper part of the stem and trees are very important which prevents the soil erosion and provides oxygen that we breathe. So, as I told, so very important because we have a lot of useful from the plants, particularly trees, which gives us oxygen which is required for our respiration and also it prevents the soil erosion. So, you should know about the meaning of soil erosion. So, the removal of a top layer of soil from the earth crust is called as a soil erosion. So, this trees holds the soil firmly and it prevents the soil erosions. So, that is about the trees. Example for the trees, can you guess, children? Yes, mango tree, the season which we had now. So, it is a mango trees. Many mangoes you have seen and also you have eaten also, very tasty. So, mango trees, the neem which is having a medicinal values, a peepal tree, gulmohar, coconut trees, all these are called as trees. It can grow up to 40 to 60 meters of height and the stem is very hard, and when you compare with the herbs and shrubs, the stems are very hard. So, now let us have one more category called as the creepers. So, what do you mean by creepers? These are the plants which have a soft, weak and green stem and ends cannot stand straight and instead of spread on the ground. So, you have seen this watermelon, right? So, pumpkin, so which spread on the ground. So, where the stems are very weak, so which cannot stand, as you have seen the plants will stand straight, right? So, it will sometimes it bends, but it usually it stands with the stem. First chapter you have studied about the functions of the parts of plants, right? Roots, stems and as well as leaves. So, this stems will give the mechanical strength to the plant body, but in the creepers what happens, the stem is very weak where it cannot stand straight. Instead of that, they spread on the ground. So, that type of plants we call as a creepers. They are called as a creepers. Example for the creepers, children, you can see the pumpkin, watermelon, muskmelon. So, the plant will spread on the ground. So, that type of plants are called as creepers. So, now we have one more type of plants called as climbers. Have you observed near your home the money plant? Yes, children. So, it takes a support of the other plants. Even this are called as a climbers. Another type of plants is called as a climbers. So, these are also plant with a soft and weak stem, but instead of spreading on the ground, they take a support with a nearby object or to climb up. It may be a wall, or it may be a stick, or it may be a plant, or it may be a tree. So, it takes a support of a object where near to that, whatever the object is near to that, so it takes a support to grow. So, such kind of plants we call as a climbers. So, for example, for this grapevine, cucumber, bean, money plant, etc. So, what is the major difference between this climbers and the creepers, children? So, the creepers will spread on the ground, the climbers will take a support of the other objects. So, this is a major difference between the creepers and the climbers. So, the example for the climbers, the pea plant, grapevine, money plant. So, this are you have seen, children, in your home. So, the money plant, so it takes a support of the wall and it grows. So, these are the examples for the climbers. So, these are the different categories of plants. So, what we have studied till now, so herbs, which is very soft stem, as well as it does not have a branches. Shrubs, so when you compare with the herbs, it is having a little bit hard stems, and also it having a average height. And if you come to a trees, it can grow 40 to 60 meters, and also the stem is very hard. So, now we have whatever we have studied, it is the classification of plants based on the size and the basic structure. So, let us learn about the classification of plants basis of their life cycle. So, we have 3 types of classification, children. So, they are called as annual, biennial and perennial. So, based on their life cycles, plants have been classified into annual, biennial and perennial. So, what are annual? The name itself tells the life cycle of the plants will completed in a one season. So, you know that. So, many plants have been grown, most of the plants have been grown in the season wise, right? Like, you know, we have a different types of crops also, that is rabi crop as well as kharif crops. Some of the plants will have it completes its life cycle in a one seasons, and generally the annual plants are herbs. Example, the wheat, mustard. So, the annual plants, as I told, plants whose life cycle is completed in one season we call as a annual plants. The biennial, bi means 2. So, the plants whose life cycle requires a 2 season for completions. So, they are generally herbs and rarely shrubs. Example, the radish, carrot and potato. What do I mean by perennial? So, the perennial plants whose life cycle runs of more than 2 to 3 years. Example, the palm trees, babul trees. So, most of the trees will they are perennial. It will be live for many years. So, these are the classification of plants based on their life cycle. So, that is annual, biennial and perennial. Now, let us study the difference between about the herbs, shrubs and trees. So, as I told, these are the seed producing and non-woody. They do not have a woody stems, but shrubs, so these are woody plants with the several branches arising from the ground, and trees, these are woody perennial. It lives for it takes 2 to 3 years of life cycle with a single trunk and grow at a considerable height. And when you come to herbs, non-woody and the stem will be very soft, and in the shrubs, woody and thick stems that are not hard. The woody plants with a thick, hard and brown stem, children, and herbs, they do not have branches. The branches are not arises from the herbs, and in the shrubs, the branches are arise from the bases and have a branches on a single stems in the trees. And what about this tend to be very short? So the herbs usually very short and tend to be taller, and when you compare with the herbs and shrubs, so the trees are tallest plants, and the herbs they experience the annual, biennial or perennial growth pattern, but shrubs tend to be perennial. Even the trees are perennial, more than 2 to 3 years of life cycle. And the herbs used as a food additives and medicines. So most of the herbs which have been used for the medical purpose, and the food whatever we are getting all from the herbs. The shrubs are used in the gardening and medicines, like rose plant, hibiscus plants, all these plants which have been used for in the gardening purpose. And the trees, as you know, they prevent the soil erosion, provides a wood, and also controls carbon dioxide in the air. The example for the herbs, basil, lavender and culinary. Then example for shrubs, witch hazel, rose, hibiscus, and the trees you can give mango trees, pineapple trees, and the eucalyptus. Most of the trees comes under the trees example. So these are the major difference between the herbs, shrubs and trees. One activity, so children take a different types of plants. Let us have a look around the activity. So plant name, tomato, the height will be short and the stem will be green and tender, little bit soft, and the thickness will not be there in the tomato. Thickness of the stem will be very less, and then when it comes to this one type of plant, it is herb plant. So lemon, average weight children, so it will not be having a green, it will be a brown color and little hard, and at the base of this one, and it is called as a shrubs. So the neem, so very tall, and also the stem will be very thick and very hard. It has been categorized under trees. So this activities you can do it children, make a column, and also you can you can take a different plants in your surroundings and try to categorize into herbs, shrubs as well as trees. Now we will study about the parts of the plants. So as you know the parts of the plants, what are the different parts of the plants children? Yes, roots, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds. So this is a basic structure of a plant. So the parts of the plants, if you say stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds, the main system of a plant. You know the different parts of the plants, which is a major, or we can say that which is the main system of a plants. If you say we have a two system in the plants. So most of the plants are flowering plants. A flowering plants is divided into two types of systems. So that is called as a shoot system and the root system. So the parts of the plants, so the system, if you take the major two systems, if you take, so we have a two systems, they are called as a root system as well as shoot system. The parts of the plant that we see above the ground, we call as a shoot system. It includes leaves, buds, stem, flowers and fruits, and the root system includes the roots and its branches. So the parts of the plant, if you take, so above the ground we call as a shoot system and below the ground we call as a root system. You can see children. So the below the ground it is called as, that is, if you have, I have just plugged the a weed plant, don't plug the plant unnecessarily, as you know the importance of plant only for the experimental purpose. I have plugged the plant. So this we call as a root system, and the upper part of this one we call as a shoot system. So the root always lies beyond the ground. So you already observed children, so many plants in your surroundings. So we have a two systems, the part which below the ground we call as a root system and above the ground we call as a shoot system. So now we will see the shoot system. So the stem is a main aerial part of the shoot systems. The stem base, leaves, buds, flowers and fruits, it lies above the ground. So what is the structure of stem? We will see. So it may be a soft and green or woody. And also you can see in the stem, so we have a different types of parts you can see in the stem. They are called as a nodes and internodes. So very important, children. So you should know, when you take a plant, should know to identify the nodes and internodes. What are nodes, children? So nodes, the point on the stem from where the leaves and branches originates, are called as nodes. And what are internodes? The part of the stem between the two successive nodes is called as internodes. So for example, you can see this we call as a nodes. So where the branches and the leaves have been arises, so that we call as a nodes. Between the two successive nodes we call as a internodes. Clear with children? So very important. So you should know that what are nodes and what are internodes. So and also we have a two types of birds. So they are called as a apical birds. So what is apical bird? The tip of the shoot has a bird called as apical bird, or it is also called as terminal bird. So and this apical birds or the terminal birds are responsible for the vertical growth of a stem. If you observe the plant, children, so at the tip of the shoot system you can see a small birds, and that birds are called as a apical birds, or it is also called as terminal birds, which helps to increase the height of the plant body. So another type of birds called as axillary birds. What are axillary birds? So the angle between the upper side of a leaves and the stem is called as axils. The birds found here are called as axillary. So between the leaves, if you see as birds, they are called as axillary birds, and they produce a new branches with either leaves or a flower. So different types of birds. One is apical bird, another one is axillary birds. So what are apical birds? So you know, at the tip of the stem, whatever the birds you are finding, we call as a apical bird. At the near to the leaves, so we call as a axillary birds. You can see, children. So the nodes, these are the parts of the stem, that is nodes, internodes, as well as axillary bird and apical bird. Let us discuss about the functions of stem. So as you know, it conducts the water and minerals. So how to find out whether the stem conducts the water and minerals from the roots to the leaves? So we have an experiment. So you can see that, children, you can also perform an experiment in your home. For this you need a glass and a stem. So cut the roots. Okay, you take a stem, you take a sample of a plant, pour water into the glass, 1/3 of a glass, then add a few drops of red ink to the water, cut the base of the stem of the herb and put in the glass as shown in the figure. Then observe it next day. So you will observe the red color in the herbs. So you can cut the stem across and look for the red color inside the stem. So you can see from this activity, you can say that water moves from the stem. In other words, the stem conducts water just like the red ink. Minerals dissolved in the water also move up in the stem along with the water. So you know, children, the water will be pouring to a root. The soil contains the minerals, and even for the prepare the food, the plants require the water and minerals, and that is conducted by a stem. So this is a simple experiment where you can do it in your home. So follow the steps, you will come to know stems can conduct the water and minerals from the roots to the leaves. So the major functions of the stems, if you take, so it holds the plants upright, due to which is also called as a backbone of the plants. The complete plant has been held by the stems. That's what I would say, that it gives a mechanical strength to the plant body, and that is why it is called as backbone of the plant. And the stem bears all the aerial parts. Why it is called as aerial? Because it will be in the atmosphere. The parts which have been exposed to the atmosphere we call as aerial parts, like leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. And also the food prepared by leaves are conducted to roots or non-green parts of the stem. So whatever the food which has been prepared in the leaves are being transferred, are being conducted by the stem to the non-green parts as well as to the roots. So these are the major functions of the stems. So and also do one activity we have learned about, the stems will conduct the water as well as minerals from the roots, and this stems helps in the upward movement of water and minerals absorbed by the roots and transport to the leaves. So, these are the major functions of the stems. So, now we will go with the modifications of stems. So, as you have seen know about the different modifications. So, plants, animals, even human beings, they adopt to the environment. So, some of the plants also have that modification to the environment. So, some stems like ginger, onion and potato store food, and some plants like cactus and opuntia that grows in the desert areas manufacture food in their green as well as fleshy stems. And some plants are modified into thrones like rose plants. You have seen the rose plant, children. So, there is a thrones where helps to protect the plants from the being eaten by the animals. So, these are the modifications of the stem, and one more modification called as it has been specialized structure called as tendrils, which provides a support to the weak stem. So, you have learned that creepers as well as the climbers. So, that is nothing but a tendril. So, example for this called as a grape vine, potato, onion and ginger which helps to store the food, and the tendrils which have been used to give a support to the weak stem, and the prickles or the thorn in the rose plant which helps to protect by themselves from the animal eatings. So, this is about today's session, children. Let us summarize. So, what and all we have been discussed in this session. So, the plants have been classified into herbs, shrubs, trees on the basis of their structures and size. As you know, when you go around, so you will be seeing a different types of plants, so which are small, very medium size, and which are very big in size. So, based on their classification, based on the structure and the size, so it has been classified into herbs, shrubs and trees. And also we have been studied about the two major systems of plants. So, the upper part we call as a shoot system, and the lower part of the plant body is called as root system. So, the root systems below the ground and shoot system above the ground. So, the root remains under the ground while the shoot system is being exposed above the ground, and the shoot systems base, branches, leaves, flowers and fruits, and the stem consists of nodes, internodes, axillary buds and apical buds. The major functions of stem, if you say, stem helps in the conduction of water and minerals and gives a mechanical support to the plants, and the stems are modified into tubers, thorns and tendrils. These are the modification of the stems. The tubers, you can remember the example potato, thorns, it is cactus, as well as rose plant, tendrils, the grapevines. So, I will be like to give a very simple project you can do by yourself. List the names of the plants which comes under herbs, shrubs and trees, and try the activity to know about the function of stem with the different colorings and note down the observation and discuss with teachers. You have to, for this activity, what you have to do, you have to take a glass of water and you have to take a stem and you have to put a coloring, remove the base of the, that means you have to cut the roots and you have to keep it for a 1 day. Observe the conduction of colored ink or colored solution through the stem and discuss with your teacher. So, draw a neat label diagram of plants and color it, children. So, all the different parts of the plants you have to do it and you have to color it. And the homework, very simple assignment I like to give. So, give 2 examples for the each of the following. So, herbs, creepers, shrubs, trees. So, 2 examples you can make a list and distinguish between herbs and shrubs, creepers and climbers. I hope you have understood, children. So, in the next sessions we will be discussing further concepts. Thank you. So, myself Sudhahar, I am working as an assistant science teacher in Vidya Mandir Public School, Amrutali, Bangalore.